Hello, my name is Karina and welcome back to Vegan Sazón. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make carne con papa. It's basically a saucy meat and potato dish, kind of like a stew, but with less liquid. Different variations of this dish can be found all over Latin America, but of course, I'm going to show you how to make it with typical Cuban spices and Cuban cooking techniques. So the first thing you'll need is some unripe green jackfruit. If you don't like jackfruit, you can use TVP chunks, which is made from soy, or the Gardein beefless tips, since they have the perfect shape for this recipe. As you can see here, this jackfruit comes packaged without water. I recommend using this type of jackfruit since the shape holds up better during the cooking process, and the darker color, due to not being in water, looks more realistic. Then all you have to do is cut the jackfruit into chunks, like so. You can also use canned jackfruit that comes in water or brine for this, but you'll see later on why I don't really like it for this recipe. With this jackfruit, rinse it well, and again cut it into chunks and try to keep the core on the pieces so they don't shred up too much. A reason I don't like using canned jackfruit for this is because sometimes it'll still shred up while you're trying to cut it, like this. Also, don't forget to take out any seeds if you see them. And for the pieces that shred up, you can easily marinate them in mojo, which I have a recipe for, and saute them to make like a Cuban pulled pork. It's really good. Here you can see the difference between what the jackfruit in water and the one not in water looked like. Now for the rest of the ingredients, you're going to need some green bell pepper, yellow or white onion, and some garlic. And you're only going to use about 1/4 of the onion and bell pepper. Then the other main ingredient is obviously potato. You're going to need about 1 pound or 2 cups of potatoes. You can choose to leave the skin on them, but I like to peel them. Then just cut the potatoes into chunks like the jackfruit. So now that everything is prepped, we're going to start on the sofrito, which is the very important base for this recipe. Cuban sofrito consists of green bell pepper, onion, and garlic sauteed in olive oil. So cook that for a couple minutes until the onion starts looking translucent. Then add the spices. I'm using a tablespoon of my homemade Sazón completa that does not have any salt. This has spices like cumin, oregano, garlic powder, and onion powder. Saute that for a couple seconds just to sort of activate the spices, and then add 1/2 cup of tomato sauce, a bay leaf, and 1/2 cup of white wine or water. Then I like to add extra color to this dish, and you can do that using sazon with saffron, anado, or the Cuban spice mix bijol. I'm using a teaspoon of my homemade yellow coloring spice mix. Now the next 3 ingredients are optional. I like to add vegan beef seasoning for extra flavor and umami, mushroom powder, which is just dried mushrooms that I blended and always keep in my pantry, and I also like to add soy sauce. You can leave these 3 ingredients out, but I do recommend adding them because it takes this dish to the next level. Then stir this and add the potatoes, jackfruit, and water. Cook this for about 20 minutes until the liquid has reduced into more of a sauce, and then it's done. As you can see, the jackfruit that came packaged without water stayed intact, while the canned jackfruit in water shredded up a bit, which is why earlier on I said that I don't really like that jackfruit in this recipe. It still tastes good, it just doesn't look as pretty. It kind of ends up looking more like ropa vieja, which is another Cuban dish but without the potato. So I like to serve carne con papa with rice, extra potato, and a little extra sauce. And of course, with one of the best things in the world, aguacate, or avocado. And here's a picture of what it looks like when it's made using just the jackfruit that doesn't come in water. It looks a lot nicer. And as always, the full recipe with any other information will be down below in the description box. Y bueno, gracias por ver este video. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it, and if you try out this recipe or any other recipes of mine, don't forget to tag me on Instagram or Twitter so I can share your pictures, and I'll see you on the next one.